Diogo Jota's last message. The world of football stood still on a rainy night in Lisbon. News broke across the globe. Diogo Jota, Portugal's sharpest striker and a beloved figure at Liverpool FC, had died in a tragic car accident. He was only 28. But this story isn't about his death. It's about his life and the message he left behind, a message that would rattle the world far beyond the stadiums. It was a warm July afternoon when Jota stepped off the training pitch at Melwood. He had just finished a session with the younger academy players. Unlike most superstars who kept to themselves, Jota had made it his mission to inspire the next generation. "You don't win hearts only by scoring goals," he told young Liam, a 17-year-old winger. "You win them by remembering what it was like before anyone knew your name." Unknown to many, Jota had been recording private messages in a digital diary app for months. He had called it "For When the Boots Fall Silent." Each message captured reflections, not about matches or goals, but about life, his fears, doubts, hopes, and dreams. In early July, fans began noticing a change. His post-match interviews grew deeper, almost philosophical. After a win against Manchester United, instead of celebrating the hat trick he scored, he looked into the camera and said, "You never know how long you have in this life. Play every match like it's your last." Most assumed he meant it figuratively, but his teammates saw more. Luis Diaz told reporters later, he started giving things away: signed boots, training kits, even his favorite wristwatch. He smiled more, but the sadness never left his eyes. One night, while walking out of Anfield, Jota pulled his phone out and recorded a message under a street lamp. That message would become his final note to the world. On July 14th, after visiting a charity event for war-affected children in Ukraine, Jota drove toward the Portuguese mountains, heading to his late grandmother's cottage, his sanctuary. The road was winding and dark. At 10:17 p.m., his car skidded off the cliffs near Serra da Estrela. Rescue teams arrived quickly, but he had already slipped away. The world erupted. Fans gathered in Porto, Liverpool, and all across the world, leaving jerseys, candles, and flowers with scribbled notes that read, "Obrigado Jota," and "Forever in our hearts." 2 days after his passing, Jota's private app synced to the cloud. One video, his final entry, automatically uploaded to his public social media channels, as per a setting he had activated. In it, Jota sat at the cottage porch, wrapped in a red hoodie, the wind howling behind him. His face was calm, his eyes heavy, not with fear, but with love. He spoke softly, "If you're watching this, I'm not around anymore. Don't cry for me. I ran my race. Football gave me the world, but I always wished the world could give more love, more peace, more kindness. I saw kids torn apart by war, people divided by skin, by money, by power. I don't want to be remembered just for goals. Remember me for the little things. I gave a kid in Ukraine a pair of boots last week." He said, "Now I can dream again. That's what this game should be: dreams, unity, freedom. Please, if you ever loved me, don't just post a picture. Hug someone, forgive someone, play like it's your last game. I'm going home now, wherever that is." Then he smiled, held up 2 fingers in peace, and ended the recording. That message shattered the internet. Clubs across the world held a minute of silence before matches. FIFA launched the Diogo Jota Unity Cup, bringing together youth teams from Palestine, Ukraine, Sudan, and Colombia. Places torn by war, now united through football. Mohamed Salah wept during a Champions League press conference and said, "He showed us what it meant to live with purpose. Not many people do that." At Anfield, the famous banner read, "He played for us, but lived for the world." In Portugal, a statue was erected in Porto, not of Jota lifting a trophy, but of him tying a child's shoelaces with a smile on his face. Years passed, yet the memory didn't fade. Liverpool renamed their academy the Jota House of Dreams. Every July 14th, kids around the world posted videos saying, "I'm dreaming again," a tradition that spread across continents. More than a footballer, Diogo Jota became a symbol of grace, humility, and the power of the human spirit. And his final words, replayed in classrooms, stadiums, and even refugee camps, kept echoing through the years. Don't just post a picture. Hug someone. Forgive someone. Play like it's your last game. Some players leave behind trophies. Some leave behind memories. But only a few, like Diogo Jota, leave behind a legacy that touches every soul that ever dared to dream.